Hey everyone, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today we look at episode 19 of ReZero. So, after, you know what's funny? After the last episode, which is episode 18, with how great that episode was and how everyone's been talking about it lately, you're almost kind of afraid to go into the next episode of ReZero, wondering if it's going to be just as good as the last episode previously, which has happened several times over the course of the series. And I'll be honest with you guys and girls, I have not found an episode I really haven't liked that much. I think there was one weaker episode way back when, but so far, every episode that's been amazing has followed up with another amazing episode, or at least one that can kind of mimic it or give it some reason for being important as well. This episode, though, is very important in its own right, and it was very good nonetheless. Let's talk about what happened. So, we have Subaru once again trying to attempt to, get Kurosama to go with him in terms of helping him with all his ordeals. And this time, he's not doing it the way he was doing before. He's not groveling. He's not, trying to get revenge. He's not trying to do any of that. He's actually going up to her and saying, hey, listen, I'll give you this and that. I'll tell you the exact locations of the white whale because Krush wants to kill the white whale really badly. I'll give you the exact locations of that, plus I'll give you access to a mining area that has a lot of resources and stuff like that, which I think is the mine he had to go to at one point or another of the story. So, he knows that location too. And he goes, we can give you that. Just come up and join me. And she's like, I don't know if I really fully believe you. I mean, how do you even know what time he's going to show up? He uses the media again, his cell phone, as he really is called. He uses that again, says, oh, look, this device will tell me exactly what time it gets here by and, exactly when it's supposed to show up by. And, Cruz is looking at him, and she has the ability to know when people are lying to her and sees that there is nothing in him that's lying. He's telling the truth, at least to, the best of his knowledge. And she's going, well, I don't understand how you're doing this. Meanwhile, he has even another plan active, which he has Anastasia and I forgot this other guy's name. He showed up in episode I think 16. He was like all about money and stuff like that. He shows up. He wants resources for the mine. He's willing to give out mercenaries to fund against the white whale, and she's willing to give all the resources in terms of also mercenary groups, her own troops, as well as the carts that they use, the dragon carts. So she's there. These two are right here for a reason. They're meant to kind of show Subaru has the means of getting what he wants to get. And you know what this causes? This causes a big shift from what happened before. Cruz doesn't say, no, you're not doing this. She shakes his hand, and the deal is set. Now, one thing I also wanted to point out, too, is we learned a little bit more about the old man. And we learned that the Master Swordsman was his wife, ironically enough. I didn't realize this. I know maybe some of you guys have maybe read the light novels or read further, have realized this, but I am completely bewildered by this. I didn't even see that coming. And so he's really, appreciative of this Subaru because he's like, at least now I can finally avenge my wife, because apparently the white whale did kill her, of course, as we know from the stories before. But he's able to now go against the white whale, and he's really happy about that. Anyways, what essentially the next few scenes have is the setup. We have all the troops showing up. We meet various new characters like Karo, who is a giant wolf-like creature who's also a demi-human, as he's known. Has him meeting Subaru. We have other people that are shown that are apparently survivors or have had loved ones destroyed or devastated by the white whale. Thus, why they're here in the first place. They want also the same vengeance against the white whale that everyone else wants. And we really learn how much people hate this whale. Like, honestly, it showed before how much really no one likes the whale. They all hate him and fear him because it's a product apparently of the evil witch. But you get to see now, I guess, in fruition, the actual amount of people that hate this thing, and it's a lot of people. So they're all up in arms and getting ready to do it, and they all finally decide to leave. I wasn't really gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna probably show the scene of it. But one funny scene that happened was when he's told he's to pick a dragon cart, and he actually has one that he picks from the former one, which was from the last episode. And this dragon actually likes him a lot, likes Subaru a lot. And they talk about how it's very interesting that, dragons are very prideful creatures. They usually don't let anyone pet them. And here Subaru is petting the side of it. So clearly, I don't know if maybe that's a sign. Maybe the dragon is able to understand him or feel him. Maybe realize who he is. That's very interesting. I think that's intriguing. But anyways, so they finally get to the destination, which is the giant tree. And we have various images here with Subaru and Rem talking to one another. And Subaru really seems like he's getting back to his usual self. He's come back and survived against the onslaught of despair and depression that he or depression depression he's had. Depression is not even a word. Depression that he's had with the the various events that came before. And what's funny about that is, Rem's by his side. You can see that clearly. I know this is just going to further the whole thing of Rem being way better than Amelia. I'm all for that. I agree Rem is way better than Amelia, but listen, if you're a fan of Amelia, don't worry. We won't hate you. Rem fans will be like, okay, it's okay. We're going to look at you like, why do you like Amelia so much more over Rem? I mean, Rem's awesome. She's the best thing ever. Anyways, so going on. So we also have another scene with Subaru and William. They're talking to one another, and you find out that apparently the Master Swordsman, she was a woman that didn't want to really be a Master Swordsman. She actually really preferred flowers and preferred more girly things in general, but the sword really took to her, and she was always, able to use a sword stronger than anyone else in the valley. So that's why she became that kind of swordswoman, And when she fell in love with the old man, it was interesting because she had to give up the title of Master Swordsman per se, but she still held on to that because, hey, it's something that, even if you want to get rid of it because now you're married, you still have that, you're still a great swordswoman in this case. And, he really hates the whale. He really wants to eliminate it because he wants to see his wife again. Probably means that he's going to die eventually after doing this, or he might die during it, but he doesn't really care. He just wants to kill this thing or at least engage in it on his own terms, which I think is really cool. Now, the credit scene plays, and we start seeing that every troop is ready. They're all prepped and prepared. They're all standing at the ready for this thing to appear. And it seems like a lot of time's passing, and they're like, "Is it going to appear?" It's all of a sudden start seeing shadows of a giant creature, and guess what? There's the whale itself. And even before Krush is able to shoot a thing of saying, "Okay, get ready to attack," Rem and Subaru are already at him, shooting magic at him, and already going under and trying to take his attention away. Because as said in the earlier parts of this episode, and I mentioned this, I'll say now, Subaru talks about how he plans on being the essentially decoy for everyone else. He's going to cause his scent to cause the whale to follow him. In the meantime, he hopes Kusama and all of the troops around them can go and kind of take it down from the side, which is very interesting. It's essentially decoy while everyone else ambushes the thing. It's a very smart idea. It leaves him in a very big amount of trouble if he's not careful, but it's the only thing he has ability he talks about. He's the only thing he can do against the whale. He's not super strong. He really doesn't have any means of fighting it. He's going to leave it to the warriors to fight it. So with him running away, not running away, but running toward the whale, essentially, you have her going, "Troops, follow those two idiots," and that's how the episode ends. You see that it's going to be an all-out battle. It's very interesting. I can't wait till episode 20. I'm sure you guys can't wait either. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. As always, guys, hit the like button, comment, subscribe, share the video. The whole nine. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.